it is very hard, like, having that, like, what a lot of people don't understand, and I don't blame them for not understanding it because, like, at the end of the day, I might go see a movie and, just have my opinions about, like, oh, I didn't really like that movie that much. I don't know the story about the director or the actors or like what all went into it. And it's like, yeah, you sit in your room and you work on this, this very honest expression of your how you're feeling or this growth period that you've gone through, and you're looking at this piece of art and you're like, this is it. Like, I did it. Like, this is me.
Mhm.
And you put it out there and somebody's like, man, that snare is way too loud. Or they're just like, this is horribly mixed. Who mastered this? And you're like nodding and smiling, but you're like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
that's me. They're talking about me. Like, I'm poorly
Uh,
mixed. And so it's so weird. It's like this really weird struggle of I always go out with the mentality that you said, right? Where it's like, this is an expression of myself. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, whatever. It can't be for
yeah.
everybody. But the very human and emotional side of that is like if somebody says, yeah, I don't like it, you can kind of go like, okay, it's not for you. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But then like 50 people say they like it and you're like, okay. And you're just kind of like looking at those 50 people and then you put out something else. And then if they don't like that, then you're upset
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what happened? Like, why? Like, what am I doing wrong? It's like, you can't win.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's a struggle I'm constantly like riding out. But I
I mean,
mean, always a little bit better at it.
I feel like the human brain has we all have a negativity bias, right? And so
Absolutely.
like out of like the 50 comments, like 49 of them are good, and then one of them is like, oh, the snare is too loud, or this is badly mixed. It completely ruins your day, you know.
It ruins everything. It's all you can think about for like a week.
Exactly.
It's like, what was that dude's
Yeah,
problem?
yeah.
Yo, I need to calm
Yeah.
down. I've deleted comments on YouTube. Like, I'll put up a YouTube video, and because I'm an idiot and I have it like linked to my phone, so if somebody like comments like, "Oh, sick remix," it comes to my phone. It comes to my phone like a text,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Ah, thanks,
Yeah.
buddy." And then somebody will have something horrible to say, and I'm like, my brain can't allow that comment to live. I have to delete it so that I don't like reply or like say something snarky or like think about it through
Yeah.
breakfast. And it's horrible. I'm like, that's some like random person in Minnesota doesn't know who I am. Like, they just like listen to the first like 20 seconds of a track and they're like, this sounds like garbage. This sounds like Yoshi Story or something like that. And I'm like eating my waffle, like fighting back tears. Like, who is this guy? Like, how dare he? Like,
Yeah.
what is he
Yeah.
talking about?
No, totally. I mean,
It's
the
ridiculous.
worst ones, I think for me, the worst ones were like the ones that go like, "Ma," and it's like, it's just that's all they say, like, "Ma," I'm like,
It's like, yo, excuse you. I spent like 300 hours making this for you to say, man, who
yeah,
are you? It's like you wanted like, yo, do you make music? Are you even an artist? Who is this
yeah,
person? What do you do? How
yeah,
old are
yeah,
you? Where are you
yeah,
from?
yeah,
You like turn into this monster, and it's like, yo, it's just some
yeah,
random. It's like some random
yeah.
person. It's so easy to focus on the negative for sure, even when you're getting positive. I think and I don't know, like at a certain point, like positivity when it's coming from a lot of people, because of like my like weird relationship with my music, I will just go like, oh, they're just being nice. Like, oh, that person's just like they're my fan. They're trying to support me. And then when somebody does say something negative, I'm like, well, hold on, like
Mm.
this is this is weird. I don't know. I have to like dig into that one. That's the
Hmm.
the one thing that I'll try to pull apart.
Yeah.
But it's not all bad, but there definitely is the
Right.
like the one rough comment where you're
Yeah.
like, man, why did you even say anything?
It's pretty rare for me to actually find a helpful negative comment because I am. Okay, so I try to be objective with these things, right? So it's like, like,
Yeah.
I'm open for critique. That's totally fine. That's how I learn. But I've never encountered something that's like helpful. It's like, cool, you didn't like it.
It's just
That's
mean.
fine. How can this be better? No one says anything. Like, how can this be better?
No, no, because that's not what they're there for. They're not there to make it
No,
better.
absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like, because I'm super like, and that goes kind of into what we were talking about earlier, where it was like making music in front of people. I have this real big agitation with like, while I'm making something, somebody looking over my shoulder and going like, you know what you should do, or like you should add this, and it's like, I can you just like let me get my like creative expression out, and then when it's done, then we can like do the whole like talk about like what I could have done or whatever. I like want to be able to do things
Yeah.
myself. And I think that when somebody does have like feedback or whatever, sometimes that does like sometimes that sometimes that hinders like your own creative expression. They're
Right.
like their feedback might be like, "Oh, you should like make the drums faster at this point, or you should like up the BPM." And it's like, well, that wasn't what this song was
Right.
about. Like this was supposed like that's not what the message is here. Like you want to collaborate with me, or like you want to just like tear me down. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like people want to like collaborate with the artist, maybe, and like that makes them feel like they've had a say in things, but they don't actually like they don't want to help.
Yeah.
I think that there's even been times where I've been that dude, where I've like gone and seen a movie and I'm like, you know what, this part was kind of cool, but they should have done this in the end. And then like an actual like director or somebody who makes films will be like, the thing you want, you know why you didn't get that? Like, because that would have cost like $5 million more, and we can't afford that actually. And it's like, oh yeah, everybody has kind of like a veil of ignorance usually when they're making those comments of like, this is what I like. This song is bad for X, Y, and Z, and like maybe they don't actually know what they want. Maybe if you do change the thing, like they still won't be happy.
True. 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 Which reminded
Yeah.
me, like whenever I have like friends sending me like demos, it's like, hey Mark, can you listen to this? Can I get your feedback? And so that sounds very general. So I would ask them, hey, because I don't really try to give advice because I feel like your voice has
Yeah.
to matter first.
Oh my
So
God.
if you're
Yes.
asking my advice, I want to know where this song is at. So I would ask, what version is this? Is this demo? Like, are you just beginning? Is this the middle? Is this the
Yeah.
final? Is this the master? And so I think that would give me a sort of like, okay, like where is this song at in the process, and then from there, I would what kind of feedback are you getting? Are you looking for structure? Are
Yeah.
you looking for? So I try to make it like a little more precise, so that I don't, I think ultimately I don't want to step on whatever their vision is. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Because there's so many times people don't understand how like difficult and finicky that interaction is,
right.
because it's like if you're asking somebody for advice on something, like there's so many songs that I love, like that, like I sing all the time. That if that person sent me that song and asked for my feedback, I would have changed like a million things. And maybe I would have changed it so much that it wouldn't have hit me in the way that it, eventually did. There's like a lot of songs. Sorry, there's like a lot of songs that I like early like Calvin Harris
Nice, yeah.
songs that like one of the reason I like those songs so much is because they weren't, an Omniboi song. They weren't something that I could have made. But I think that if like for in some weird reality, me and Calvin Harris were friends and he sent me that early stuff, I would have been like, this is kind of cool. It goes on a little too long, or this is cool, but like this could be turned down. And like maybe I would have crushed that cool like vibe that he was on. And like I don't want to do that for
Right.
anybody. There's just so many amazing artists that I honestly don't particularly care for.
Yeah.
And I like that they sound like that. Like I don't want everything to sound like just what I would listen to.
Totally. And I think to add to that, context matters, right? I mean, we have all these like
Oh
different
my
like
God.
genres of music with different traditions, right? Like for example, like a house track would typically have like an 8 bar sort of like intro of like either the drums or something percussive to actually mix it in, because it's meant to be
Yeah,
mixed into another track. And so it would have these like
absolutely.
components, and the structuring is a little different, and it's typically longer, like 6-8 minutes. That's very typical for a house track. And so like
Very, yeah.
when I create like let's say a house inspired track and it's long, and I would get feedback, oh, it's too long, it's going on for too long. It's like, wait, do you understand? This is a house
Yeah,
track, like this might go, and maybe it's my fault that I didn't sort of like frame it in that way, and whoever is listening
exactly.
didn't get that context, and that's fine. But yeah, context matters.
It
Yeah.
does.